Ugh.
What's up? Did you not like that?
That's such a bad one.
Why is it a bad one? Why did you think it was bad?
Nah, it wasn't that. It wasn't that bad. Hello and welcome to Burning Bow Business, the podcast where we discuss the progress, success, and failures of our company, Burning Bow IVS.
Oh,
Got him!
That's good. As well as ourselves.
I just came up with that.
That's good.
As well as ourselves.
IVS is the additional thing that goes on our business officially.
Yeah, like
as a registered business.
Like LLC in America.
Yeah.
GmbH in Germany.
I think we might have talked about that already.
Yeah. Hey,
Hello.
buddy.
How's it going, sir?
What have you been up to?
What am I? Well, I just watched the Conor McGregor fight.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
Got up in the middle of the night to watch it. I mean, that's really all I wanted to say.
Okay.
I woke up at 2:45 to watch it because I wasn't sure when it was on.
Yeah, when was it on?
6:45.
Oh my god.
So I watched all of the prelims and stuff beforehand.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I enjoy those fights more. I don't know. I can't handle the main thing because if I'm emotionally invested in it, it's uncomfortable and I don't enjoy watching it.
Really?
I'm just like,
yeah, because
I loved watching the other fights.
Because Connor won.
What do you mean?
Are you saying you don't like watching it because?
No, I liked watching the other fighters of the night.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't care about who wins.
Right.
It's just fun to watch the fights, and they're great, and it's fun. And
but then it gets too intense when the...
yeah. I don't know. I don't watch any sports at all, really. This is the only thing that I care about at all.
Yeah.
So.
Brutal.
Anyways, yeah, we don't have to talk about that at all.
Okay. I mean, I don't really know anything about it. I didn't see it. I thought about it, and then I was like, I don't really care.
Well,
and then this morning I was
like... It was a lot of effort, so I don't know. Halfway through I was like, dude, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I couldn't really fall back asleep, so I've been up for a while.
Yeah. I feel a little loopy too. Yeah. Same page.
Right, let's do it.
But other than that, we've had a couple of days off again, you know.
Days off, days apart.
Yeah, when I say days off, I just mean like...
We're not sitting next to each other for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Definitely not days off.
Was it good? You work on your script?
I tried.
Yeah.
I think you were saying that just having worked on the YouTube video, which I'm sure we'll talk about afterwards, kind of got you out of the editing mode and you had to spend some time to get back into it.
I can pretty much do one thing a day. And so I got to be very careful about like what I set my mind to.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird. I still feel like there's something to be learned because, it takes so long for me to get into it again. I'm just like, I got to like care about this specific little thing all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Having not thought about it for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Whereas when that's what I'm doing, it's constantly kind of on my mind. So then when I sit down to work on it, it's already been kind of processing in my head.
Yeah.
So sitting down, I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Did a little bit, but really not much.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we could get to the YouTube, yeah. We just released our season 1 finale. From what I've seen, it's been received pretty well.
Yeah, I think people like that one. It's funny.
So that's done.
It's so satisfying
That's
to finish
very satisfying.
that.
And that means season 1 is done, and there's no real pressure to start season 2 until, I don't fucking know, sometime in the future.
When we want to. When we're excited about doing it.
Exactly.
The funny thing was that we were complaining about having to do this last episode. Or like we just weren't really invested in it anymore. We wanted to move on, but we felt like we had to kind of stick to what we said and release something. And I'm so happy we did it.
Oh, me too. And I think we went from so close to just trashing the whole thing.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, just being like, nah, let's just write it off. to then deciding to do it, to deciding to do something very short
Yeah.
and funny,
Yeah.
to it then turning into like a full on episode.
Yeah, it did.
And one of the better ones at that, I would say.
It was
So it's hard to judge right after. But
it is, but I think I do think it is a good one because I feel like it shows kind of what we did in the past 3 months.
Yeah.
There's just so much footage that we have.
You
Hours
could
and
probably
hours
edit
and
another
hours
one of
of
those.
footage. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was so it's overwhelming at points because there's just so much. And it's like, I'm just going to grab something.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not going to look through it all.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was that it was funny how we went from not wanting to do it to doing it and enjoying doing it.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, finally, okay, we don't have to do season 2 now for a while. Immediately upon uploading, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Why aren't we doing season 2 straight away?
Yeah. I had some ideas and I was like, no,
we could do a lot. This is great.
We stopped this for a reason.
Exactly. And the reason like it showed itself the day after, I struggled to then work on the other project because my mental space was on the YouTube.
Yeah.
And so I struggled to work on the other thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's what we should be doing.
It's
all good.
Yeah. But it's done now.
Yeah, very, very, very
now,
happy with it.
all that exists is sort of a loose. I mean, we haven't really talked about what happens now.
No,
From what
we
I've
have, but I don't think
understood.
we've agreed on anything.
I think just keep it loose, you know?
Keep it loose. Don't
But do
don't
something.
commit to a certain amount of uploads a week.
No.
Don't commit to a style.
But don't
Just-
let that run into we don't upload anything for the
No.
next
I think
8 weeks.
I think the thing to do is to say that what we should be doing is filming ourselves when we can,
Yes.
whether we're on a job or if we just registered the business and you like pulled out your phone and filmed it.
Yeah.
Like that was great.
Yeah.
That should be our rule, is to try and film as much as possible, not to
But
upload.
that would be more than for season 2 then, right?
I don't know. I
Or
just mean I
whatever.
feel like having footage, you want to edit something together.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, oh, we have to upload.
No, but for me, it's more like I've been interested in doing this tutorial kind of stuff. So I think somehow I need to.
But that to me is like
Keep it
film
loose.
it, film it, and then you have
Well,
filmed
exactly.
it. It doesn't have to be like you have to upload it on Friday.
No.
It should just be about getting the footage, and then it's there, and then
So-
you will
so
want
I
to
feel.
make it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Leave it at that. It's a
Let's talk about-
big
let's
weight
talk about-
off of our shoulders, I think.
Let's talk about the dancing part.
What about it?
I thought that was so much fun to do.
It was good.
I'm not a big dancer, or at least haven't been for a while.
I think you are.
When I used to drink, I used to dance a lot.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. A little bit of social lubrication.
Oh, a lot of social lubrication.
Yeah. But it's still there, the drinking is just bringing out
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that is.
Yeah, for sure. It's not like I can't do it. I could dance if I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Or with Phoebe.
Yeah.
And I like just playing around.
Yeah.
So it was very fun to just be like, all right, I'm gonna pretend like no one is here.
Nice. Nobody was there.
But at one point I looked at the camera, I was like, there's a lot of people watching this right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care. I don't
That's
know. I
good.
feel like maybe I can start doing that again. It was fun. I was like, yeah, I could probably like,
Start dancing.
yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah, dancing is the best.
Very, very fun. My brother said to me, he's like, that's the first time I've ever seen you dance.
It's crazy.
He also has a very short memory, but I know what he means.
Same as me. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he seemed to like it. It's yeah, it was good.
It felt so right for the end of the episode or the season.
Right.
It just felt like a celebration and like, yeah, fuck yeah.
No, exactly. And I dance quite a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like just by yourself?
Yeah, by myself or
Like in your tiny room?
there's no room in there.
I was going to
If
say,
dance,
you cannot do what you were doing in your
no,
room.
it'd be like in the bathroom or something.
You just like
but
listen
more.
to your AirPods?
I mean, I don't have a system. It's just you end up there with some music on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, throw out a couple dance moves. You got that big mirror,
No, I have a tiny mirror in my bathroom. So
Right. You need
that
to get
wouldn't be very
some.
fun.
You need a big mirror.
We just got a big mirror
Nice.
in our
Nice.
bedroom.
Nice.
Big round mirror. It's bizarre. Every time I get up and I'm like, whoa, there's a
Nice.
mirror there.
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
Is it?
I think dancing is great. There's like Kevin's family is huge into dancing. Like when I lived there for a year, it's just like after dinner, somebody would turn on, the stereo, and one person starts dancing, and then everyone starts dancing. Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah, it's very fun, and I like it now. I think I'm so like proactive about it because I watch the videos of me when I'm younger, and there's a lot of moments where like my whole family is like dancing or something, and I'm just kind of like sat on a couch or something, and I'm like shy and like embarrassed.
That's me.
It is so cringy for me to watch of like, Dad, just get up. Like everybody's getting up and you're sitting there. So I think I'm very conscious now of like, it's just fun. Just go out and do it. Just
right. It has to be fun. But that's the thing.
But I prefer to make people laugh, right? So like if you're dancing, I feel like it's the perfect.
Like
it's just people laugh. Just that one up each other on like, well, who can do the funniest kind of.
The most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
We'll see.
Cool. Where do we want to go from here?
I don't know. You're leading this thing.
I know. I'm
just enjoying it.
I'm not unprepared. I just basically I write down notes. How do you prepare for these?
I don't know if our listener, like, have you guys realized that we kind of take turns to host the episode, and like one person prepares.
Have you guys?
I don't know. Prepares a rough outline for what we should talk about, or potential topics, and maybe some questions.
Yeah.
And it's a very good feeling to not be the one to do that, because then it's just like having a conversation. You don't have to worry about like if the conversation's good because it's on the other person.
Yeah, and if it sucks, you can just be like, well, that was your fault.
Yeah, why'd you bring that up? That's a boring thing to talk about. So where are we going next?
Well, I got a couple things here because I basically just write things down throughout the week. You know?
Oh, wait. Weren't you just going to ask me what do I do to prepare?
Yeah.
Well, what do you do?
I just write things down. Something will come in my head.
Like what we've done this week, and then
I have like a bunch of like movie ideas. I'll be like, idea for movie title, this, right? That'll be one document, and then I have like just random thoughts that kind of come in my head.
Oh, like on your phone?
Like, on my computer or phone. Same I have with podcasts. Same I have with like, I don't fucking know, lyrics that I like or something.
Oh,
you know.
So
because I'm
okay.
Yeah. That's what I do, which means there's no method really. There's a little bit of, chaos. And sometimes there's a bunch of good ideas. And sometimes like this week, they're interesting. Okay. They don't really pertain to anything to do with the business necessarily, but I also feel like, that's what this week has been kind of. So, well, how do you prefer?
I just think of what have we done this week?
You kind of do it like
what?
An hour before I show up. Write down a couple notes.
Yeah, or like the other day I did it while you were sitting here waiting for me to come.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I'll Google some like 100 best questions to ask someone you're going on a date with.
Oh, that's cheating.
And I'm like, that's so fun.
That's funny. What would you put if you weren't dating Phoebe, right?
What would I?
And you were on an online dating profile,
okay.
Right? You know how those work?
No.
Basically, you have a couple pictures of yourself, right?
How many?
I want to say like 5 or 6.
Really?
And you
my hands are sweating.
Yeah,
just talking about it.
You have 5 or 6 pictures, right? And you put yourself, I'm a cool guy.
You write that? You write, I'm a cool guy?
Where you're trying to tell the other person, like, look at me, I'm cool. I got friends. You got a picture with some people. Like, I got friends.
They can't all just be...
I'm that sporty kind of guy. You put a picture up of rock climbing. This isn't what I do. This is what I'm just saying.
So what did you do?
Huh?
What did you do?
What did I do?
What
I think I struggled to find.
You just do like passport photo style.
I used to do some funny stuff. I would like take a picture of me from a low angle, and then I would crop out my nostril, and in my nose, because it's so big, I would put another face of myself.
No way.
And then,
on your dating profile?
Yeah, because I thought it was like funny. I was like, oh, somebody who thinks this is funny, like it matched right up.
Has it worked?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, so you put all these photos, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you write underneath. You write like a little caption.
Okay, what did you write? What did you write?
I honestly don't know.
What would I? Well, then, okay. Well, what would you think about it too? What would I write on a God, there's no way of
Oh, I know, like
coming out of this
like
looking good.
Aziz Ansari from
A what?
Aziz Ansari. Is that his name? The comedian?
I don't know who that is.
He did
I didn't know you were saying a name.
Oh, sorry. Master of None. Have you seen that?
No.
On Netflix?
Nope.
Oh, great. Great conversation.
This is
Anyways.
good. Wow.
He has one. He has one where he says something like headed to Whole Foods. You want me to pick you anything up?
Ooh.
Right.
Oh,
sort of
God.
funny,
I would
you know, like a
definitely
little-
fail at this.
I'm sure his was a
I
little bit
take
clearer.
it way
I think I
too
just
matter of
butchered that.
fact and try to like describe myself and sound
Height,
awkward.
6, fact.
Like, I don't know.
Likes.
I definitely don't think I'd be very witty or
Oh, it's horrible.
funny
Yeah.
about it.
I'm just curious.
You'd have to give me a sec.
All right, we'll think about it.
Yeah.
Where was I going with that?
You said, oh, if you weren't dating Phoebe, what would you put on your... Yeah, that was where we were going.
Yeah, but
I think
where
it's
did
dead
I
end.
start off? God, I'm butchering this whole episode. I don't fucking know, dude. I'm just gonna move on then.
I thought it was funny.
Where did we dating?
Online dating?
Yeah, but that's because you said. I don't fucking know.
I might put a picture of myself dancing from that video on there.
Yeah, cool.
I like to dance on the internet. Maybe that's what I'd write. Once.
God, I want to like switch to something really good, you know?
Yeah, do it. That'd be fun.
I don't have anything
Instead
good
of talking
though.
about
I
something-
just have random things. Can we start? This is serious,
Oh, okay.
right?
Let's segue into something serious.
Yeah. Can we start playing chess?
Me and you?
Yeah, because there's something I think you would really enjoy it. I think if you learned the game.
You think you just want someone easy to beat? Is that?
No, I think it's a great way for us to
Develop our relationship?
that too maybe,
Yeah.
but more just like it's a fun activity that you can also obviously talk while you're doing it, right? It doesn't require all your attention unless you're going fucking crazy. It's a fun little thing we could do. It's just a fun little. I think you would really enjoy it. And then we could,
Play chess.
Write a little shot list on the side as we're going, throw out some ideas, do a little bit of brainstorming or something, I even thought we could record a podcast while playing chess, but I don't want to smash you right away, so I kind of want to give you a little bit of time too.
Well, would you teach me? I mean,
No, you can learn online.
I know the rules of chess. But
I'm not
I don't
crazy.
Know,
I
don't
didn't
know
like
anything
study
about
openings.
about chess strategy whatsoever.
You'll learn.
What's like one good way of thinking about it that could get me excited about learning it?
One, it's because there's so much. Like, for example, you can't program a computer to know all the best options, because basically, if you go down however many pieces you have, however many squares, it's like there's so many different options that could come out of one game that it require like more atoms than there are in the universe.
Yeah.
Right. So it's more like you're kind of basing your decisions on kind of like larger rules in the game, or
Like
things
what? Like
Yeah,
like that.
Like you want to
that's what I
protect
mean.
your king in certain situations. You want to control the center of the board, right? There's obviously things about like flanking from one side, how to attack.
Oh,
the
obviously. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
other. Yeah, you would be very interested.
Based off of what do you think I'm going to be interested in this?
I just think like a problem-solving mind, something that's like you can't master the game. You're never going to be a professional. I mean, maybe you will.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, maybe.
very
I mean, to be
satisfying.
honest, one of the things
It's competitive. You're competitive.
that's the part that
And
I'm
it's like
oof.
intellectually competitive, you know.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm smarter than you because I just beat you, right? Which is not.
No, but that's why maybe I'm a little hesitant. Is because I'd want to like get into it, and I know it would take up a lot of my time.
It's good though. It's a fun game. Anyways,
I'm down to maybe try a little bit. I was gonna say that every so often I'll make like a massive list of just everything and anything I just want to try or do.
Yeah.
It could be stuff I'm already doing.
Yeah.
Like climb a specific mountain, or it can be like learn how to play chess.
Yeah.
And that's been one thing I've written a couple of times. Like,
but just imagine,
really good at chess.
Imagine we're on the side of a mountain, right? And we're hanging out at night, and it's like,
oh, like in the tent?
Yeah, brought like a tiny chessboard, you know, a little magnetic one.
That does sound fun.
And we have a little game.
Or we could play cards.
Rather than what cards do you play with two people? See, this is the other thing. We can't really, besides hacky sack, which is going to be hard on the side of a mountain, right? We need some other games that can kind of keep us occupied. I've never played. Sorry, you okay?
That was a weird noise.
I've never played a card game with somebody else, with only one other person, and really enjoyed myself. You need like 4 people for a good card game.
One-on-one poker.
That's so boring.
Yeah, I know. I don't think
compared to like 8-person poker.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Actually, me and my brother used to play a lot of one-on-one poker. It got pretty intense.
I hate
it.
We
play like best out of 10 or something over the course of
with
like
real money.
We used to play with real money.
Yeah. And your parents found out?
No, like just gets a little bit too serious.
Yeah, it gets a little intense.
It's actually it's more fun to come up with like something like a consequence, because it's like I'm not really gonna want to spend a bunch of money playing against my brother.
I see. Me and Kevin did it where it was like we played a bunch of games and we just keep on adding. So if you'd have to play with like, I don't know, $25 or something. If you lost, that went towards the Vegas fund on our road trip. All right, so then you could gamble that money.
That's a good way of
in Vegas.
doing it.
Yeah. But I always lost. I'm terrible at poker. I'm really.
I like to think I'm
really,
good.
Really bad.
See, I.
But I like puzz. Yeah.
That's strategy. I love the strategy.
I also like the strategy. So
I read I think I got really into poker in my first year of university. I joined the poker society.
Yeah.
At the university, and would go and play poker.
Okay.
Once or twice a week.
Okay.
In like a big hall with like 50 other people.
Oh.
So you'd have like multiple different tables. Each table would be a tournament.
Did you wear anything? What was your look? What was your thing?
A t-shirt.
Oh, nice.
And short hair.
Short. You know how people, they will wear like a ski goggles or like
it wasn't like the World Series of Poker. It's just like uni students who think that this is cool.
Okay.
So I like got really into it and read a bunch of strategy books.
Uh-huh.
I like to think I'm pretty good at poker.
Okay.
I won a couple of tournaments.
Oh.
Yeah. And then
how many people? Same. Like
you
50?
you play like oh no. I never went to any of the big where everyone plays. You'd play like the table. So it'd be like 10.
Oh, okay.
But then sometimes it'd be like 2 tables. So once it got down to 10,
then
so
you would
5 people, you'd merge tables.
Yeah.
I won like one of those, and then a couple other just single table ones.
No, it's a fascinating game. I actually just watched a video about Negreanu.
Yeah.
And he just calls people's hands.
Yeah.
It's just like
top
5 Negreanu calling people's hands. He's like, you got kings? Kings? You got aces or kings? And it totally fucks with the other guy.
Yeah, because it's like, how does he know? He just knows.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things though, where it's just you do it enough times,
100%.
You're gonna be right sometimes.
100%. And YouTube is the glory that they're gonna find that clip.
Yeah.
Play
the times
5
when he
of them,
said
and people are gonna be like, that guy's fucking.
You got kings? Nope.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that never made it to the highlight reels. Yeah. But still, I think let's play some chess. Let's play some,
All right, I'll learn to play chess.
Yeah, here we go.
And then you gotta learn something that I'm good at.
That's fair. I'm already learning the kendama.
Kendama is this weird game where you have this ball and a string attached to a wooden
like crucifix
thing, and you have to. Enough said.
Good explanation.
Like I come up with something that I don't know. Think about it. Something that you could learn to do too.
Yeah. There's this chess. I'm also interested in chess. For example, like they have the master classes online now. Right. Were you the person who said you'd taken one of those?
Yeah.
Which one did you take?
The Werner Herzog masterclass on documentary filmmaking.
Whoa. Was it good?
I didn't finish it, but yeah,
Okay.
it was.
Okay.
It was interesting.
That whole site is very interesting to me because it's just like...
Do you want to explain what it is?
It's basically some sort of...
It's called masterclass.
Online educational videos, online courses.
They're courses. Yeah.
Got it. And they have, the people who basically are at the forefront of their fields, various different people. They have Kasparov teaching chess. They have Gordon Ramsay, I think, teaching cooking. They have
Martin Scorsese teaching
they have
filmmaking.
Some crazy people.
Yeah, they seem like they have the best of the best.
Yeah. Teaching a course. I don't even know how long the course is, but basically I know you can buy a single course or you can kind of buy a yearly subscription, I think, and you can watch as many courses as you want.
Ooh.
I don't have the money for it right now.
How much is that?
At some point. I don't think it's that crazy. I want to say it's like $200 per year.
Okay.
Right. Anyways.
There's just so much to learn.
Yeah.
So many books I want to read. So many films I want to watch.
Yeah, what else was on the math? There was something that I was like, I would take a whole course on. I would learn that.
There's like a screenwriting course that I thought looked really interesting.
Gotcha.
There's like stand-up comedy. There's anything and everything you can think of.
Yeah, Steve Martin teaches one. It's very cool. It's a very cool idea. I dig. Okay. I needed to confess that my bike does in fact have a flat tire. I did not fix it.
Oh yeah.
In last week's episode, I claimed
parkour bike is down.
It's down. It did hold up for a while, and then the next day, I rode it. Bumpy again. I checked the back tire. It's flat.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna get a new bike?
I don't fucking know, dude.
A new wheel?
No, I think
get a scooter.
Not obviously. I gotta get a new wheel.
Okay.
Unless you can patch it somehow. I mean, the air must be coming out so slowly if it's taking like overnight for it to deflate.
We have a patch kit.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Why don't I? Why didn't you say anything?
I hadn't thought of it until now.
Is it like a car though, where it's like you can only patch it if it's on the... It's like if you have a puncture on the side of your tire in a car, you got to get a new tire. But if it's actually on the bottom, right, on the surface of the wheel. I know
nothing about car tires.
Oh, right, you wouldn't.
Or cars.
It's because the pressure of if you're driving over it, I guess that's enough for it to just seal itself. You don't have to get a new tire. God, you're killing this podcast, Taylor. You're really killing this one.
That's not bad.
And now I just have these stupid, now I'm like, why? Where was I going with this? But
I'm sure. Okay, I'll try. I'll really try.
What? Let's bring up the energy. Let's bring it up. What time are we at? This is gonna be a short one, anyways.
What do you mean bring up the energy?
I thought that's what you're saying. I'm really gonna try to make.
I'm gonna engage and really try and think of something interesting to add to what you're saying.
Okay.
I feel like I'm letting you down a little bit.
All right, no, you're not.
You're bringing up things that I don't know much about, though. So it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Chess and cars.
Yeah, because I'm a huge car person. Everybody knows that.
Okay.
And these are so random.
Okay.
I wrote, "Are truffles sought after because tasty or rare?" And what I'm trying to get at with that question is, people say, I've never tasted a truffle.
You've never had a truffle?
No. And I assume that you have. I just made that assumption, but...
I sure have.
Okay. So...
I say that as if I'm proud of it. No, I just have. This
pertains to like a lot of things. Is it like, are they that fucking good? Are they worth 100 euros for like a fucking nugget? Or is it because they're rare that people are then like, oh my God, this is delicious? Because you can't have anybody, because I'm the only one who can afford this.
I think in general...
Like, are there things that are rare that nobody cares about?
Yes.
Like what?
Oh, wait, no. I don't know. Let me think about that. Yeah. But I do think that stuff being rare is exciting to people.
Right.
Because not a lot of people are going to be able to have it. But
right. But some things must be valueless. It'd be like if I don't know.
If it's useful for something. If something's rare but it's completely useless, doesn't do anything, then obviously, yeah, no one cares.
What about people still get excited about 4-leaf clovers? They don't do anything. Oh, look, I found a 4-leaf clover.
Yeah, but there's, it's like luck that people feel like it's lucky. So I guess that adds value to them.
Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't really make much sense.
Okay. But I mean, I guess is value determined by the rarity of something?
If it's useful, then yes.
But I'm saying is there,
so
can you argue that anything that's rare, like the 4-leaf clover, you could be like, well, it's lucky that you found it. It represents luck.
What's something that's rare that just has absolutely no use?
I feel like albino animals.
What? Do they have a use?
So what do you? Look at this albino dolphin. It's so rare,
and so it's worth a lot financially.
I don't know.
I guess it's
albino alligators.
A rarity. It's something it's a spectacle. It's interesting to see. It's people like something that's freakish.
But back to the question then, is it
the truffles? Yeah, they're damn good.
Are they?
They have this. Yeah, they do. They taste very very nice. I once went to a restaurant. I can't remember if this was either after I graduated university or it was my birthday. It was some special event. And my parents took our family out to dinner to this like fancy place to eat in London, I think it was. And I ordered a truffle spaghetti as like a starter. So it's like a tiny portion of spaghetti with Parmesan, and then there's no truffle on it. And I was like, oh, like where's the truffle? And he's like, oh, just wait. So this is part of like what we do. And then he comes out with a truffle and like a little
mandolin.
What's that?
Mandolin.
What's that?
Oh, it's like thinly slices.
That.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's called that. A shredder.
Yeah. Slicer.
And what he does is he puts my plate up on a weight, on a scale, measures he shows me to the exact gram how much it weighs. Then he takes it off it and he says, just tell me how much you would like, sir.
And they're going to charge you afterwards?
And then he just starts shaving this thing like,
yeah.
And I'm like, now? There's like quite a few bits of truffle on this thing. And like even like a big kind of chunk came off. It wasn't sliced properly. It just kind of picked off. I think he actually went and, oh, sorry, sir, and like removed it because that would add to the weight. And then he puts the plate back onto the scale. And I don't remember how many.
He's like, that'll be 5,000 euros.
It was literally like 65 euros. And I was just so like shocked by it.
Was it good though?
Yeah, it was really tasty. Obviously not worth 65, but yeah, it does taste nice.
Okay.
Like truffle oil.
I assume they would taste nice, right?
But that being said, I think if truffles were common, like a common mushroom, I don't know. I don't know if people would consider it like the best ingredient ever. I don't know. I think that's hard to. It's like with like rare wines and stuff. It's like, is it really?
It's the same with like, lobsters used to be for like poor people. And when did it make the transition all of a sudden to be this like?
I didn't know this.
Yeah. Oh. It's like I don't know enough about this, but do quote me on it. Yeah, and then at some point we decided, oh no, it's really tasty, so now it's gonna be really expensive. And I'm like, obviously the taste didn't change.
No.
Or was it the one person that everyone trusted? And now everyone's like, yeah, that is really tasty.
Do you think that people would drink wine if there was no alcohol content in it?
Oh. I thought you were going down the line of like...
Or whiskey.
If you took a terrible bottle of wine but had someone very qualified be like, oh, wow, this is delicious. Like how many people would also be like...
That's another question.
Ooh, that's good.
But like people who are really into wine and have like a wine cellar in their home and have many different labels, different years.
Yeah.
And it's something they really...
Yeah, I was obsessed with wine.
Obsessed about.
For like 2 or 3 days on Netflix.
2 or 3 days. Do you think that people would still drink wine if there was no alcohol content.
Would it taste the same, or would it taste
No,
like
if it tasted exactly the same. Tastes exactly the same. There's no difference.
Just no alcohol.
No, there's no alcohol in it.
I think
because they say that, you know, it's for the taste, it's for the, you know.
Yeah, I think people would, because even
mixing it with a meal, and you balance it with a wine that's specifically suited to that kind of taste.
Right. I think so. 'Cause especially like the sommeliers and stuff, like all those documentaries I watch, I mean, they do get drunk at the points, but a lot of times they're just spitting it out.
Yeah.
Which I don't, you know, it's more, that would indicate to me that it's more.
Well, isn't that just for the tasting of it?
Yeah.
Not to enjoy the wine.
That's well, I mean, they're recommending wines to other people, so they have to go through these courses and taste. Yeah. So to them, I would say.
Well, that's different, though.
You think?
There's a reason why they spit. It's so that they don't get drunk.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right. So they have, like, it makes sense because they're working.
They still seem to be enjoying it.
Like, yeah, but it's not like they sit at home and they just drink wine and spit it out.
Freshly opened tennis ball can.
Oh, God.
That's what one of the guys said. Freshly opened
tennis ball can.
Yeah.
What's freshly opened?
You've never opened a tennis ball can?
Yeah.
Where it has like a soda can almost type of thing.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
And you smell that.
I've never.
And it has a very like
tennis ball-y smell.
Very like I don't even know, processed kind of rubbery.
That sounds like a nice taste.
I don't fucking know, dude. They throw out some weird words when they're describing the taste.
But do I think that rarity in itself is what's exciting, or what is kind of what people pay for, rather than the actual quality of what is rare?
Right. I'm saying, like, just because I know it's rare, I feel like I would taste it and I'd be like, ooh, that's good. Whereas
for
if
sure.
it was something like,
it's
just a mushroom.
I'd find a reason to, I think most people would. I think it's just like human nature to be agreeable with what you're being told is good.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why you would find it good, or why it is considered good, even if it doesn't necessarily
blow your mind.
Yeah.
Not worth 65 euros for a couple slices.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is. Maybe I'll have it and I'll be like, oh my God.
This is amazing. I'm going to save up for my truffle.
Okay. My next thing is about bidets in Denmark.
Bidets?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So is that a thing? Or because I feel like I transcended.
Well, let's just explain what a bidet is.
A bidet or washlet.
Washlet?
I think something like that.
Okay.
I mean, it's basically something that squirts water at your ass after you've gone to the bathroom. That's it. Cleans it up nicely, you know?
It looks like a toilet. It's next to the toilet. You go and sit on that.
Oh, no. See, there's two different types. So there's the one where you get off the toilet.
Okay.
And you kind of wash yourself with a rag, I think, in a little separate sort of basin, right?
That's not a bidet?
That is a bidet as well. But the one I'm talking about is the one maybe a little bit more Japanese, a little bit more, you know, it's automatically shoots water at your ass.
At the end?
Yeah.
Do you press
a button? Yeah. Right?
Okay.
You press a button, shoots the water, it cleans you up, right? No toilet paper involved.
Does it also dry you?
No, I mean, you can decide. I'll usually take a square and kind of dry myself at the end, right? But one square compared to like, I mean, it varies.
But do you have one of these toilets?
No, I used to have one in LA, right?
Did you have to like get this special?
I went to Home Depot, right? I installed it with my friend's dad and everything. And
to just a regular toilet?
Yeah, just regular toilet, right? But it was a little,
What made you do that?
We'll get there. It was a little T, like plumbing thing that sort of like, instead of the cold water just going straight into the basin of the toilet, you could kind of split it into two, right? Yeah. And take this part of that and use that as the water.
Okay.
To rinse your asshole, right?
Yeah.
So why did I get started on that, right?
Yeah, why did you want to do that?
Because I went to my friend's house, right?
Right.
And they had one, and it was amazing. It's objectively a better way to wash your asshole. Objectively, right? I don't really think there's an argument you could take that would be like, oh no, smushing paper against it is better. Sorry, that's just what I prefer. It's like, no, obviously a hose is going to be better in every situation.
I've never tried.
Anyways, the Danish toilets, they don't, the hose isn't exposed, right, to the cold water. So even if I could find one of these out here, it's like, how the hell do I hook that thing up, right? And I feel like I'm so, what's the word? I've gotten
excited.
I've gotten so used to using the bidet, right? And now, slowly I'm just thinking, like, is that a thing in Denmark? Is that something I can look into? Or, am I barking up the wrong tree here?
My dad has one.
I love your dad.
At least he had one.
Okay.
In our previous house.
I told you, I said, me and him, we got some sort of connection.
And I've never thought to use it. I never even
you
thought
had it in your house and you never...
I never even thought about him using it. It's the first time right now that I've thought about my dad using a bidet, even though I knew that he had one.
Oh.
I don't know. It just never crossed my mind.
I mean, the classic example is that, like, if you got a little bit of shit on your arm, right? It's like, what are you going to take some paper and just cut? And you'd be like, that's good. I'd be like, no. Like, wash it. Wash it under the sink. You nasty fuck. Like, that's disgusting. Wash it off with water.
Hey, I know you said this to me before, and I was like, you're right.
I totally, yeah. And it's just easier, and, I'm just saying, if anybody out there knows,
where to get one of these.
It's not even the getting. I think the getting I could get on Amazon. It's more, it's one of those new toilets where everything is encased. So you don't have access to the water lines.
Maybe you just have to have like a tank of water that you top up yourself regularly.
For that?
Yeah.
I guess you could do that. It seems like a lot of, cause the water's right there. I mean, they even have ones where you can hook it up to the warm water.
Ooh.
Yeah. And you can warm up the seat and all these other things. To me,
are you the kind of person who spends a lot of time on the toilet?
No, I barely spend any. I'm in and out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I don't bring like a phone and like watch like YouTube while you're going.
No, I mean I'll watch like very quick, like 30 seconds of a video, and then I'm done. I'm not hanging out in there.
So you don't need the warm the
well, no,
seat,
the warm seat honestly just creeps me out because it makes me think that's the feeling of like someone else was just sitting there.
All right. Right.
Cold porcelain is like fresh, like nobody's been here in a while, that's just what I think.
I already know what the title of this episode is going to be. It's going to be called Cold Porcelain and something.
That's just my preference when it comes to toilet seats, but it's an option, so obviously you could say not to warm up the seat.
When you started this podcast and you said I have a bunch of random stuff, it doesn't really pertain to like the business. My thought was, well, I'm going to find a way to make it, about the business. Something. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I can do it for this one.
Okay. I think it's good. I was also trying to veer away. I feel like we've been talking about a lot of the same things keep coming up.
For sure.
So I'm just trying to throw it out in a different direction.
It's good.
And then,
it was more an invitation for you to try and link it to something.
Yeah, it's more just my gripes with, life is going pretty good at the moment. So these are the things that bother me, And, if we had a massive audience, I'm sure, at some point someone might, hey, dude, this is how you take the casing off a toilet. This is how you install your bidet. There's got to be somebody else out there
that knows
with the same problems.
Yeah. Worth a shot.
Worth a shot. And then, my last observation was that it's very strange that I have a large nose, and I'll tell you why. Is because I have allergies as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you think, like, evolutionary speaking, right? These would have gotten, like, allergies runs in my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would think our noses would be getting smaller so that we could take less pollutants and less, pollen, less stuff that sort of irritates, me in general. And I said, well, that's weird. Not only did I get the big nose, I also got allergies. It's like a double whammy.
But aren't big noses, they would be evolutionarily it'd be good to have a big nose because
with the sniff.
I don't know.
Sniff out things
I'm
far
sure
away.
There's a reason, but
there definitely is a reason.
But allergies would be, it's like a, mistake. There's no good reason for why allergies exist.
Right, but now we're at a point, right, where we're so comfortable. Maybe now, What
do you mean we're so comfortable?
It's like I don't need the big nose to survive in any way now.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe I'm sniffing out something that I'm not aware of.
What would be a logical answer for why people would have big noses?
Well, I know flat noses, and definitely quote me on this again.
Don't or do?
Well, flat noses, you would have that if you're somewhere where there's a lot of sand, right? Because it's protecting, and I think very cold places, like Eskimos and stuff, right? Prevents, I don't know, your extremities from getting cold or something.
Right. I guess you're privileged to have a big nose then, because you don't live in harsh conditions.
Well, I'm sure there's a reason for it as well, such as, maybe I'm, French, down my lineage somewhere, I'm French, and I had to sniff out truffles, back in the day.
Well, that is what noses are used for.
Right. Yeah. Just an observation, right? Again, don't have to go any deeper than that. And I'll end it on a question.
Okay.
Or did you want to add anything?
No, I was just trying to get into the evolution of it, but I
just don't know enough
we just
about
sound
it.
Stupid to try and talk about.
You know what we need to start doing?
A nose is best at. I mean, all I can think of is like smelling if something is off, because that's a very important thing to be able to do, because then you don't eat something that's going to make you sick.
Yeah, but I don't think
so. A bigger nose is going to.
It doesn't.
I don't know. So that's why I feel like it's kind of stupid to talk about.
Or maybe
I'd just be saying stuff.
I think at some point it'd be nice to set up a laptop somewhere
so we can research this.
We could have some discussions, because I always feel like at some point I'm like I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
and true. I don't really want to. But I don't want to stop the conversation just because we're afraid of looking stupid. I think if we're aware that's like.
Yeah,
we're just kind of, it's just a bit of banter.
We're not being too serious about.
But it would be nice to have a computer. I could just look up quickly now,
That's true.
And the phone feels too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thought for the future podcast setup.
So we'll play chess and have a computer.
Well, the chess was just one episode.
Okay.
Which would just be, it would be a fun episode. It's a little bit of chess in the middle, playing a little game, we're just having casual conversation, All right. You ready for this question? How long did we make? Oh, thank God.
We're good.
When do you think you'll be ready to die?
Okay. When do I think I'll be ready to die?
See, this is a Taylor original question. This isn't going on Google, looking up questions.
Ooh, I like this. I like the way you've approached the question. Because it's not like, are you ready to die, or when do you think you'll die?
It's just like,
how do you think you'll die?
Not like at 82.
It's, when do you think you'll be ready to die?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much to think of there. I think I like to think that I'd be ready to die at any moment.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Why did you know that?
Because that's what I was gonna say.
I really do. I actually think about it a weird amount. I have moments where I'm like, yeah, I could die right now, and everything would be okay.
Yeah.
Well, not everything would be okay, but like I'm happy with what I'm doing, and I think those are the moments where I'm like, yeah, I'd be ready to die if I feel like I'm doing what I want to be doing.
Right.
And so I guess the answer is right now. Like, I'm ready.
Okay.
Doesn't mean I want to die.
Yeah.
But I think if I suddenly felt like I was doing things that I didn't really see myself wanting to keep doing, I'd be a little bit less hesitant to say that, but because I feel like I'd want to change some big things about my life. Mm-hmm. And so I wouldn't be ready to die yet. But I mean, obviously, if I say like right now, I'm not ready to die because there's so many things I still want to do, obviously. So it's like, I think, like not too long ago, I had this weird. So my grandma, she passed away like, coming up on like a year ago.
Okay.
Like 9 months ago. And on the days following that, thinking about death, thinking about how I was remembering her, I decided to play like a thought experiment with myself where I imagined, well, what would I want my funeral to look like?
Uh-huh.
And I like wrote down a long, I'd say like 5 or 6 page handwritten, like, this is what I want to happen.
Like a will.
Kind of. I even told my brother that I'd written it in case I died.
Okay.
He would know that it was written somewhere and he should go find it.
Where's it hidden?
It's just one of my notebooks. You just have to look through some of my notebooks and find it.
Okay.
And that was an interesting way of like thinking about it. I think connecting to your own mortality is like kind of eye-opening a little bit. It makes you aware that it's, I'll just do it tomorrow isn't always gonna be a thing. Like, you should try and do something today and not tomorrow if you can,
Yeah.
Sounds super cliche, but I really try to do that. It's so tempting to say, I want to try. I'll do that tomorrow because it sounds fun, but I'll do it tomorrow, when you could just do it right now. Like writing down like who would be at your funeral and how people would feel about it and where it would take place and like small things like that makes you think about it.
Yeah.
In
What's the point of that though? To be like, who tried? Does that help you figure out who you want to be? Like, if you're like, I want people to see me this way.
Yeah.
Is that a little bit backwards though? Like, why would you be concerned with what other people think about you?
Because that would determine the impact I had on other people's lives.
So you'd want to have like a
positive impact on people. Okay. I wouldn't want people, because I was in a lot of ways thinking of my grandma negatively.
I see.
And so I was so kind of, I felt weird about that. Like, why am I remembering her like that? Why am I struggling to think of the good things?
Right.
Which I obviously was able to as well.
Yeah.
But I was just very aware that I wouldn't want to have, if I were able to have a positive impact on someone's life, I'd want to try and do that.
Yeah.
So that's what it was about.
Okay.
But
you feel like if today, right, I'm like, oh my God, there's a meteor about to hit, in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just going to hit Denmark.
Yeah.
But everyone's going to hear it's going to die.
Yeah.
Right. Would you just be like, okay.
No.
What would you do? Or even if it was just, you go to the doctor and he's like, oh my God, that lump under your armpit?
I've thought about that. Not about the lump, but I've thought about that. No, but the doctor,
before. You guys, Miss, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
That lump under your armpit?
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really, it's really, really important that we let you know that you're going to die in 20 minutes.
In 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Why not talk about it realistically, like in a couple of years?
Okay, a day. No, he's like, you got a day.
What would I do in a day?
Because the point is, are you ready to die? Like, what the question is, when do you think you'll be ready to die? If you're saying, I'm already ready to die.
I think there's a difference between
accepting
that is something that's going to happen and that it could happen. Doesn't mean I think there's a difference between.
Why are these mints out?
I brought them out from when my parents were over here the other day.
That's very adult of you.
There was also chips and mixed nuts and raspberries.
And a dip?
No dip. They were lime and coriander flavored chips. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, I think there's a difference between being ready to die and accepting and being okay with it. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I don't. it's a loaded question because I don't think anyone would choose to die.
No. Well, people would, but...
Yeah, but within what we're talking about. But that doesn't mean they wouldn't be ready to do that.
Yeah, but that's just acceptance. That's like...
I'd like to think that I wouldn't feel like, why haven't I been living my life? Fuck. It's actually over.
Right.
Holy shit, why didn't I do what I wanted to do while I was actually had time to live?
Right.
That's what I mean by being ready.
Okay.
Doesn't mean I'd be like happy about it and just be like, oh, okay, I accept it.
What would you do?
I think I would feel very scared and then very quickly switch over into I don't want like my family to be scared or to be so saddened by it.
Okay.
And I'd want to try and turn it into something positive.
Interesting.
I don't know what else to say. I feel like that's what that's how I'd like to see myself reacting. You hear of people who like get cancer and have a couple of years to live, and I feel like there are obviously so many ways that those 2 years can go down.
Yeah.
But if you'd have the option to make it something where those closest to you feel either like some kind of strength came out of it because of the way that you handled it, that is something that you can do to make it a positive thing instead of it being this huge devastating thing to have happen to your family. If you could like go and be strong. I don't know. I don't really know what I mean by that. I think that's like a really powerful thing to think about. I mean, I'd like to think that that's what I'd do. I mean,
like die gracefully.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
Yeah, I think I would die pretty gracefully. When do you think you'll be ready to die?
Oh yeah,
what read in a lot of different ways. I don't know. One of the reasons I brought it up is because Ricky Gervais just brought up this thing on the talk show, where he was saying like, this whole idea of like living a very healthy life so that you can become very old and everything.
Like living more years.
Right. And he's like, well, but I like my pizza and my beer and wine at night. Because when you say I get 10 extra years, it's from like 80 to 90, which are like the worst. Like he's like, if I could live 20 to 30 again, great. Like sign me up. But it's like you're getting the shit end of the stick with, the extra years.
I mean, you'd also get healthier years earlier.
Yeah, sure.
Which would be more enjoyable, I'd assume.
Arguably.
I think could strongly be argued that way.
Okay.
You don't think that being alive and healthy is going to make those years happier than being alive and significantly unhealthier?
I think, I think there's things you can enjoy in life that aren't healthy, but that
trump being the feeling of being healthy. I
don't think it's a competition. I just think
no, but that's what we were talking about though. Is if you're comparing Ricky Gervais saying that I like my pizza and my wine. I also don't want to talk for him, Right. Okay, but let's just assume that that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That you could live longer by being healthy.
Yeah.
But then you just get 10 years at the end. Who would want 10 years when you're 80?
Yeah.
Why not live now when you're in your prime?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, if you're living an unhealthy lifestyle, those prime years are going to be of lesser quality because you're being
You think that's
unhealthy.
objective? Or that's your opinion?
I think I don't see how you could argue that being healthy isn't going to make you happier than being unhealthy.
Because I don't think happiness and healthiness are correlated that way.
Really?
I think, or causated, or whatever the one is.
I think one strongly is related to the other. I think it's very difficult to be very happy if you are unhealthy. I mean, we're talking about unhealthy, not like
that's like
we're not talking about like having a drinking a couple of glasses
that's
of
what
wine.
I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, if you're talking about something that is going to take 10 years off your life at the end, I'm assuming it's a pretty dramatic.
I mean, I think you're reading too much into this. I think the idea is more just: is sacrificing health for a few pleasurable moments in life worth it if you're gonna probably lose a couple of years at the end of your life, right?
Yeah, I don't really think about the years at the end of your life. I think about like the way it makes me feel now. So I guess like if you feel the pleasure of indulging a few here and there
is very different. I mean, for you, a night of drinking is going to be totally different than
or eating or
not
working out
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm purely talking about that the pleasure you'd get out of whatever it is we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think I guess I could say for me but I'd extend it to as a subjective argument.
Well, as subjective as your
as an objective argument that doesn't overall make you happier than the long-term benefit of being healthier because of not doing those things. If we're talking about it being something that would take years off of your life at the end, it must be something that is more than just the average, indulgence.
I think we're talking about average. I think people just like to, like, if you're like,
do you think that
I enjoy a couple, glasses of beer per week.
You think that takes years off your life at the end?
I think it's just a common. Okay, well then.
Do you think it does? Do you think that drinking a couple pints of beer a week is gonna decrease your lifespan? Because if you do, then we're definitely talking about different things, and I take back what I said.
No, I just mean like a certain.
Yeah, I think
it'd be impossible to say like I did this thing, so now I've lost 3 days of my life.
Of course,
I think people say that like, oh, you smoke one cigarette in your life, you're losing blah.
On average, I'm sure you could calculate it, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's not gonna. If you're saying, well, do you think? It's like, I don't fucking know. Like, there's so many variables as to like what could affect your lifespan. But the common idea of like an unhealthy lifestyle and certain things like smoking or drinking or eating too much or whatever is going to take off a couple.
Yeah.
It's going to shorten your lifespan.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's 100% you're going to lose 3 years of your life.
That is less interesting, if you could call it that, than the added benefit of just being healthy in the years you're alive and being able to do things and feel a certain way.
Sure. I think we're just talking past each other.
Well, how are we talking past each other? Do you not agree that being healthier?
I don't think we're gonna agree on.
Let's take an example.
I don't think we feel the same things when we do the same things because.
That's true.
For you, it's a problem. For me, it could be something that's enjoyable.
Oh, so let's not talk about something that's a problem. Let's talk about something like working out or something.
Whether you work out or not, are you going to be happier?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you work out, you're going to be happier.
Well, that's the kind of stuff I mean. I'm not talking about someone having like an addict, whether or not they'd be happier if they stopped their addiction. Like that's obvious. That's obviously not what we're talking about, is it?
Yeah.
I just don't get. It's like now it's like you don't want to talk about it.
No, I'm happy to talk about it. I just don't think we're gonna.
You don't think we're gonna agree? So we don't want to talk about it?
Well, I think I've said what I think, and you said what you think.
But that's what I'm trying to get. That's why I'm repeating what you're saying.
Okay.
Is trying to see what it is you're saying. So that's why I'm like, okay, well, let's take an example, because you seem to be thinking that I was assuming that it was like from the point of view of someone who has a problem with something. So obviously, it's going to be different for them. That's not what I was thinking.
Okay.
I was thinking like, well, so what would be an example that you could look at
of unhealthy lifestyle that?
Yeah. Well, you're saying I don't think we'd agree. So like, where do you think we would disagree?
Where do you think we would disagree? I think, for example, well, let me think about it. I think it's very hard to boil it down to one thing, like one puff on a cigarette or something, right?
Yeah, no, but we're talking about like a habit, like over time.
Yeah, or more just like, if I go out on Saturday with my mates, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And we go out and we have a couple beers and smoke a couple cigarettes, whatever, right? That, to me, that experience might be more valuable for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whatever was involved in that experience, than the extra. And I know it's not this simple, but the extra, like, let's say that took 3 days off your life overall. Let's say you could calculate that. To me, that would be worth having that experience than having the extra 3 days at the end of your life.
No, I agree.
Oh.
That's why I'm trying
to
use something like that. Because then I'm saying, though, that what I would then...
Because I think that's what Ricky Gervais, in a way, is saying as well.
Right.
He's like, well, I know it's unhealthy, but I enjoy it so goddamn much.
I don't really care about the days at the end.
Yeah.
Then what I'm saying is maybe what should be taken into the equation is the outside of those pleasurable moments,
right,
how you would feel by... So something like drinking a few beers with friends and having a couple of cigarettes, I don't think is going to negatively affect your health during that week.
No.
So obviously not.
Yeah.
But I think
if it's an addict, of course, that's a problem.
Like, again, that's not what we're talking about. But something like, if someone's like, I feel like a lot of people say, I just don't have time to work out because I don't enjoy it. I just want to do something that I enjoy. Missing the point a little bit that the workout or the run or whatever it is isn't the enjoyable part. It's how you feel afterwards and the things it allows you to be able to do.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that it gives you a longer life.
No,
and that's what I was getting at.
I see. Yeah, I think I would definitely agree with that. But I think what he was talking about is more the idea. Well, this is when do you think you'll be...
What we're talking about.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say as well, is like, when do you think you'll be ready to die, I think is very much like... I guess you kind of brought it up, the question of like, well, if you get to the end of your life, would you regret certain things that you did, right? And what I'm getting at is that, like, I don't see myself
regretting
stuff.
That's I think what I'm saying too.
Right.
So I think if I were, I think there are certain things where I could have regretted doing them because the pleasure they gave in the moment probably weren't as good as if I had just not done them and I gained something else afterwards.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't think of anything really. So.
I mean, it's a tough one. I also bring it up because I was like, honestly, if someone told me I was going to die today, I would be like, it's hard to say this, because you don't know until it actually happens.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't be 100% sure.
It's an interesting way of thinking about it.
But you can't imagine it. You can try to imagine it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
I think imagining it actually would affect how you'd actually behave
Right.
if it were to happen.
But I've had dreams where the plane is crashing, and I'm like, it's definitely like a little bit of panic, a little bit of like, oh God, should I write a note to somebody? And then it's just like, okay, this is what's gonna happen, and that's very calm. And
I think I'd definitely be the kind of person who would try to contact loved ones or write a note or something. I'm assuming you wouldn't be like that.
I think about it. If there was anything I felt like had to be said in the dreams, it's usually like quick enough that it's like, well, you don't really have time to get out a piece of paper. And it's like, you find out the plane, and it's like, yeah, it crashes quite shortly afterwards. In my head, what I also like to think, right, besides being okay with dying in that situation, is that somehow I'm the only, in those situations, I'm the one that forgot to like buckle his seatbelt, and I fly out of one of the windows on impact, and I land on like a soft thing of like palm leaves or whatever, right? And I'm like completely fine, and I'm the only one.
This is like a normal dream you have?
No, that's just what I imagine in my head. I think that's a human thing of like, I would be the only one who...
You'd be the one to survive.
Yeah.
I think
like
that's quite a
massive
common
car
thing.
crash.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
I would somehow, I don't know, fly out the car weirdly and like...
Not die.
Yeah.
I think that's another interesting thing about, if we go back to like the habits or the things that make you happy, or like smoking or drinking.
Yeah.
That it's a normal thought process would be, well, that's probably not going to happen to me.
Yeah, definitely.
For a lot of people.
Definitely.
There's like, if it's not 100%, like you said, it's hard to put a number on it. If you could put a number on how many days you are losing per puff or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be crazy, first of all.
Yeah.
If you could do that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people would be very affected. No, I think be very affected by that because it is determined. It's not like it could.
Right.
I think the fact that it could and isn't it will, it's so easy to be like, it probably won't.
Yeah.
Or at least convince yourself in the moment that that's the case.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot we could talk about with this.
Okay. And we'll see you next week on Learning About Business. Goodbye.